Are you struggling to compare two spreadsheets and find the differences? You're not alone. Many people face this challenge, especially when dealing with large data sets. Today, we're going to tackle this issue using Google Apps Script. I totally get it. You have two spreadsheets, and one is an update of the other. It can be frustrating trying to sift through thousands of rows to find what's new. You're definitely not the only one who has faced this. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user asked how to compare two spreadsheets and output the differences using Google Apps Script. They mentioned that both spreadsheets have only one sheet and they want to identify new content. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this together. So what's the issue here? The user has a script that works for smaller data sets, but with nearly 30,000 rows, it exceeds the 5-minute execution limit. This is a common problem when working with large spreadsheets. And stick around. By the end of this video, I'll share some tips on how to optimize your script for better performance. You won't want to miss it. To begin optimizing the script, the user should focus on reducing the number of comparisons made between the two arrays. Instead of using nested loops, we can utilize a more efficient data structure. Next, the user can create a set from the old spreadsheet's unique identifiers. This will allow for quick checks to see if an identifier from the new spreadsheet exists in the old one. Then, the user should iterate through the new spreadsheet's data and check if each identifier exists in the set created from the old spreadsheet. If it does not exist, it means it's new content. Finally, the user can implement pagination to handle large data sets. This means processing a limited number of rows at a time to avoid exceeding execution time limits. Fun fact, did you know that spreadsheets were originally created to help accountants? Now, they're a vital tool for everyone from students to data scientists. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach to comparing spreadsheets suggests addressing performance bottlenecks in your script. The user points out that starting both loops at 0 each time can significantly slow down execution. They recommend sorting the second range once and using binary search for efficiency. This way, you can reduce the number of comparisons needed. The user provides a function to find the first row matching a value in the first column, which can help streamline the comparison process. Finally, they suggest a method to filter out duplicates by checking if a match exists in the sorted range, which can enhance performance. That's all on that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative solution suggests improving efficiency by organizing your data. If your rows have an ID field, you can sort the arrays and compare corresponding rows instead of checking every row against every other row. This method is much faster for large data sets. If your data lacks an ID field, consider implementing a tracking system. This involves marking rows as checked and continuing from the last checked row when the script times out. This way, you can break the task into manageable parts. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. This user suggests using the cache service to improve performance when comparing large spreadsheets. They start by deleting any existing triggers to avoid conflicts. Then, they set a maximum running time to ensure the script doesn't exceed limits. The script retrieves data from both spreadsheets and identifies the relevant columns for comparison. It uses caching to store progress and continues processing in chunks, allowing it to handle large data sets efficiently. That's it for that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative solution suggests creating a dedicated spreadsheet with a custom sidebar. This sidebar will use HTML and JavaScript, allowing scripts to run on the client side, avoiding the server-side time limits. This approach allows heavy processing to be done on the client side, which can then send results back to the server-side script to update the spreadsheet. Here's a pro tip. Always try to identify unique identifiers in your data. This can significantly speed up your comparisons and make your scripts more efficient. And there you have it. With these tips, you should be able to compare your spreadsheets more effectively. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks on using Google Apps Script.